All right, folks, this is a live demo of how to publish a book. When you create a book in LibreTexts, you will notice that it is actually only live for you. So if you were to send this link, or if you open your project link, and it's going to make me sign in, this happens all the time, just know that. And I want you to see that once it's published, you wouldn't have to do that. Relaunch it. Okay, now it's dark gray. That means that we have the ability to edit. We are logged in as a verified instructor. All right, so now this is our book, and we are ready to publish this. The Spanish department at Irvine Valley College is ready to publish this book. But there's a couple of things that you have to do to the book before you go to publish it. Number one, the subject expert needs to go through every single page. And absolutely, our amazing faculty here have done that. They've gone through every single page and double checked it, copy edited it, made sure that it has alt text on all the images, that all of the headings are in order, and that the tables, everything is ADA and WCAG compliant, and that the content matches your course outline of record for your institution. So now we need to figure out, how do we get this book so that anyone, especially students, have access to it without having to be logged in. Up here at the top right here, you'll see in the URL, it says Workbench. That means that right now only verified instructors in your conductor project have access to this. We want it to just say Irvine Valley College courses, and only LibreTexts can publish it and do that for you. So you will know when your book is published because it will not say Workbench in the URL anymore. It will usually be placed in your campus commons if you are a LibreNet member, and if not, it will be published with a published link. So there's a couple things that you have to do before you publish. On the front end, this is your front end, and in your back end. So we're going to start on the back end of this project, and we're going to go to Edit Properties, and we're going to say, this is the project title, okay? And I do have a subject expert on the call with me just in case I have a question, but this is the title of it. Right here, it is now going to be completed. Once you click completed, this will no longer show up in your main conductor page. You're going to have to go to completed projects. I've had some faculty say, oh no, it's lost forever. It's not lost, it's just incompleted. All right, it has been harvested. It was a harvest and a curation, so harvesting's fine. And private visibility, this is just for your conductor. Don't worry about that. I recommend long-term putting in a project description because this will show up on your main page. It doesn't have to be, but we recommend something that's mainly pulled from your course outline of record. And then don't worry about principal investigators, content area, and stuff like that you're not going to have access to. And then you're going to put in as much as possible different tags if you have them on the back end here. So you could see if there's languages or Spanish, you can search for Spanish, right? So this is a Spanish book. There's Spanish right there. SPAN is another one, Spanish, right? See if it's got Espanol. Yes, it does. There we go. So we added a couple tags in the back. If you know your CID, please add it in. This can all be done at a later date too. So this is Spanish, and it's one of these, but I don't know which one. So we'll have the subject expert add it at a later date, but you'd want to add in your CID. This helps with discoverability for others outside your organization who may want to use your book and have similar transferability of their courses. You're going to upload an image here. We've already done that for our images. Our Spanish department chose to do a really lovely 4-part graphic series for their titles for uniform branding. And then you're going to go down here, homework assessments. You've got that in there. If you have an adapt homework system that you've also built for it, you can put the URL in here. That will link it out. This is the main part I want to make sure that you do. You need to make sure you add in the main authors or authors. So this is Beatrice, T-S-A-N-G, A-N-G, and then we'll put in Beatrice's email, btsang@ibc.edu, and we can change this later if it's wrong. Okay. You have formats if you had anything like that. For the publishing date, you're going to put in today. Harvesting date, they worked on this for the last couple months, so we'll just put in the date over here. Last modified, we'll do today. The language, this is Espanol, which will probably be under Spanish.
Rachel.
Yes. Did I spell your name wrong?
Yeah. So last name T-S-E-N-G.
E-N-G. I knew it. T-S-E-N-G. There we go.
And then for the CID,
what's the CID?
It's 200.
All right. Spanish 200. There we go. Spanish, S-P-A-N, 200. It's this one right here. Perfect. All right. And then we go down.
And then for
License,
the authors, do you
yes,
need to put all three names?
just the main one for now. We can add
Okay.
other ones into the front, but in the back end, we're just going to list the main one.
Okay.
All right.
And then the original publication date
Mm-hmm.
and also harvest.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be taught in the spring of 2027.
Yes. So we're publishing it today, though. So today's the
Okay.
earliest that because we can't do a date that's further out. So it has to be
Okay.
a date that is now or
Current.
before. Yes.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
So that's why we're putting in those dates. And then when you make modifications to it, though, you will change the last date modified. So that's a really good question, Beatrice, because in OER, we don't necessarily have first, second, third editions in LibreTexts necessarily. Unless you're making big overhauls, then we absolutely will put first, second edition. But say you just go in and fix a couple typos, you add in a new case study, you could do last date modified, update that. So yeah.
Okay.
And then for licensed, are we doing a CC by NC or CC by NCSA? I think for most of the content you used, it was CC by NCSA, yes? I want to
Yes.
say it was this one. There we go. And it was a 4.0 license. There is no original URL. Asset settings you don't have to worry about. This down here is the danger zone. If you ever wanted to delete all your hard work, that's the delete the project button. Please, please, please do not press this unless you truly mean it. So we keep it hidden. We don't touch it. And then we hit save. And you'll notice when you do this, now over here on source properties, Beatrice's name shows up right here, along with the license and the email. This is what you need to do on the back end. And also see now we have the CID and we have a couple of tags. Now we are going to go to the project and we're going to do the same thing on the front end. This is going to be metadata tags that basically when Google is being asked to search for Spanish OER, it will pull from content we have in here. So these are the other things we want to make sure you have done. Here's your summary. We could put this in the back end too. So nice summary. Here's our beautiful graphic. On the actual graphic, you'll see it has first edition, when it's going to be taught, as well as the license. So we're going to go down here and we're going to set that same license. Okay, and we're going to update the tags and the same version, 4.0. And we're going to update the tags. And then because Beatrice and Carla have already authored books, they may be in here. If they're not, and this is not in alphabetical order, I do not know why it is not in alphabetical order. It never has been. But you can go through here and see if you can find, I think I saw, yeah, right here. So, but this one has a third author. Yes, Beatrice? I think this one has a third author.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is down here, we're going to write author at, and then we put Beatrice, Tseng, Carla, Carla, Lamari, and then I want to say it's Lisbeth.
Yes.
How do
With
we
an
spell
S.
Lisbeth's name?
LIS.
Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Lisbeth. Okay. And what's her last name?
Rosales.
Can you spell it for me?
Right below RO.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Rosales. There we go. And then you hit enter. Now we've tagged it that way. Okay. And then we can also do Irvine Valley College. Okay. Also, the AI author bot, if you turn it on, will add tags for you. It can be a really fun thing to play around with. It is not on until you turn it on, though. So just know about that. So we'll put in SPAN, Spanish, and this is Spanish 3. We'll do SPANIS, and then we'll do Espanol if it has. There we go, Espanol. There we go. Just to give it some tags, okay? And then we've got some authors in their article types. We've got it all ready to go. And that's just basically telling everybody some stuff. You can do this at the different page levels too. You could go into say just page chapter 2. You could go in here and add specific ones in here. Right now, those are just the auto ones that are generated from whatever source content we pulled it from. But if you wanted, you could add other specific tags in here if there's something really specific that you think other people in your community might benefit from. So once you've done that, you've added the tags, you've double checked all of your accessibility. We made sure that it has the author listed, it has the license that you're going to use. And remember, licensing also has to be based on what you remixed from. So not all licenses are remixable. So make sure that you are using remixable licenses or doing license stacking. Okay, you come back here. And at this point, it's really easy. You're going to click this request to publish button. Now, this is a new feature that they just added. So we're going to double check. I'm going to have it right here. This is the chapter that you want it called, right? You want it called this. Open. Going back to the thing. This is what you want it called, right? This is the title, right, Beatrice?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do this. So then we go to here. This is the book title. Okay. Project ID is automatically given. Okay. And then we go down here. This is what we talked about at the very beginning, that you've double checked that you have thumbnails, that the content has been reviewed for grammar errors, right? Page summary settings. Now, this is a contentious debate. So we recommend having page summary, at least for the main book. However, usability wise, at the library, we actually ran some studies with students and found that students are not a huge fan of page description settings if you have big indexes within your chapters. So for instance, for this book in Spanish, they are long chapters with a lot of subsections. So to have page descriptions on each of them actually made the index page unusable for students. So that is something that we didn't do at that level, but we did have one, as you saw, on the main page of the book. Okay, but you click all of these, accessibility checker, we did. License, you do it again here because we want to make sure that we are being clear about the license this is under. This is where we're going to add all three authors, Beatrice, right here. So we're going to do it one more time. Beatrice, make sure I'm doing the spelling right. T-S-E-N-G. Yes?
Yes.
Irvine Valley College. Then we add another author. And so this is where you get to actually put them in for real. Carla Lamari, L-E-M-A-R-I. Lamari, does that look right?
Yes.
On the end. There we go. Also Irvine Valley College. There we go. And then add another author, Lisbeth, L-I-S-B-E-T-H, R-O-S-E-A-L-S.
S-A-L.
R-O-S-A-L.
E-S.
Yes, there we go. Irvine Valley College. Irvine Valley College. There we go. So now all three are in there. Primary institution is Irvine Valley. Irvine Valley College. If you had any additional information, you'd put it in there. We don't need anything else. And so then we hit submit. There you go. Now we have ours in we have a IVC repository through LibreTexts because we are LibreNet members. So once it is published, we will get an email. It will also, this is always going to be your main page. So you will also down here in discussion threads, this is where they'll send you the link saying, hey, it's been published. If there's any problem, this is where you can also message them about this. So this continues to be your main project page where you can continue to make changes to it if you wanted to add new members. So for instance, in 100 years, when Beatrice finally leaves us and decides to retire and we're heartbroken and we're devastated, and someone else needs to be hired on to take her place, or to take Carla's place, and they want to bring in someone new, they might want to add them to this project page so the book can continue to live on. No matter who is the main authors, you can add them here indefinitely. So this is going to stay live. Your project link is what will change. So right now it still says Workbench. LibreTexts is the only one that can now make it truly published. Once it's published, no one has to be logged in to view it, and they will be able to view it. Last thing I'm going to say is if when you're making heavy edits, it's also being used. So for instance, the Spanish department, they have multiple sections that are going to use the same textbook. So if Beatrice wants to go in, she can't make the entire book unviewed because it could be that someone else is using it. But you could go in here and you could go to restrict access at a page level or at the full public level. So for now, we're going to make the whole thing public, right? And we're going to apply to all sub changes. We're going to overwrite and we're going to hit save settings. However, if you wanted to edit a single page and see one of these pages, you wanted to make sure that while you did heavy edits to it, the students couldn't see it. So say you wanted to go in here to just 3.6. And for whatever reason, you wanted 3.6 to not be viewable from everybody else, you can go to options, restrict access. Okay, you could make it private and you would not apply to subpages and you would hit save settings and that would allow just you to have it. The challenge with this is you have to remember to go back in and make it public or the students won't be able to see it. So only do this if you're making really big changes or you're leaving notes for a co-author or something like that. Other than that, I wouldn't do it at the page level because it can get a little confusing. So now we wait. Once we get the link that is actually published and publicly available, you will have the ability to download it to your LMS. There will be an IMSCC file option, as well as a PDF option and a print option here. And that's something for another video. So we're going to stop the recording. And good luck, everybody.